Craig Z. List here of the Harrobles. And tonight we're defending our 1CW tag team titles against Tons of Fun and South Philly's Finest. And I'm sure it's going to be a barn burner because South Philly's Finest are one of the toughest tag teams I've ever seen in South Philly, Jersey, Delaware, anywhere. But they're not as tough as the Harrobles, especially Mark Harrell. It's tough to hold him back in muddy waters. He's going to on them. But Tons of Fun, I'd like to say something good about them, how tough they are, how strong they are. I got nothing. I'm sorry. They're fun, and they maybe they weigh a ton, but I'm sure they'll try their darndest. But I know that the Harrobles are going to come out on top because Mark Harrell, Muddy Waters, can't be beat. Craig Z. List, out.
Disputed 1CW Tag Team Championship, and it is set for one fall. Introducing first, at the ringside of this time, at a combined weight of 2 tons of fun, Masterino, and offer tons of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mike Fresh. With me is Jason Heat. This is 1CW on Delmarva Sports Network. And now it's time for a little bit of fun.
Well, more than a little bit of fun, a lot of fun. Technically, tons of fun. Question for you, Mr. General Manager, though. Making this match, obviously fan favorites, beloved, but Tons of Fun have not necessarily have a particularly impressive win-loss record. What has inspired you to enter them into this title match?
Let's be honest. We know what happens with Tons of Fun in most matches.
They dance.
Sometimes you just want to give the people what they want. And the people love Tons of Fun.
Introducing us from the streets of South Philly at a combined weight of 419 pounds of gabagool, the Jim, Jimmy Conway, the Line, Luca Brasi, J. Paul, South Philly Finest.
South Philly's Finest making their way back to 1CW.
Representing the family. That is the gent Jimmy Conway with the fedora, and the Line Luca Brasi with the, what do you call it, a derby cap, a cabbie hat?
It's technically called a Johnny Cap.
Yeah, I'm not a haberdasher, so it is. It's good to know.
See, we got some gabagool, we got some salsa mayo in there. We're gonna make a nice stew. We can even add a little bit of jackass for the meat.
seeing Mark Harrow anywhere, and
I think you should be concerned because I think you upset him a little bit earlier tonight.
well, he listens to the commentary, I found out.
Mark Harrow from behind coming through the crowd with the element of surprise.
This is the first defense of the tag team titles for the Harrobles. Mark Harrow and Muddy Waters, accompanied by Craig Zelis. They had a real surprise win over the Reality Era, long-time reigning tag team champions. So the tag division has completely changed in the last month.
We've got Craig Zelis on the back. Is he employing that chloroform again?
That ether to the face of Eazy-E, knocking him unconscious, and now they're not even hiding it. They used to be wearing that donkey costume, but they are literally a trio of jackasses.
Harrow and Muddy Waters are going to probably take Mato apart. Mato with a big splash.
A Thesz press by Salsa Mato. That is the first offensive maneuver we have seen out of Tons of Fun. Not just in this match, but in their career.
Looks like he's going to sleep.
If that hand falls 3 times, then Tons of Fun are going to be eliminated, and that is the case.
Is it wrong that one of the reasons I booked them
Tons of Fun has been eliminated.
is because I know that they're just going to be fun to watch for about 30 seconds?
It doesn't speak highly to your care and concern for your employees.
They've never turned it down.
And now, one-on-one, this was an elimination match. And that means we are going to see South Philly's finest against the Harrobles. And these are two teams that both like to bend, maybe break the rules when possible.
Luca Brasi in first.
Going up against possibly the most unstable man in 1CW today, Mark Harrow, who has just gone completely off his rocker in recent months.
I don't think he was really ever on the rocker. It's just, it took a little bit of a turn.
Blind tag to the gent, Jimmy.
Huge boot to the face.
Great extension there. And both Craig Zelis and Muddy Waters were right there to try and put the foot on the rope for Mark Harrow.
And if you take a look at Heavy Hands, Jimmy Conway, you'll notice a brace on his wrist. He was interrogating somebody and got what's called a boxer's fracture this past week.
Yeah, got a little carried away with his other job. South Philly's finest are 20-time tag team champions over the course of their career, but they have never held the 1CW titles.
Jimmy Conway getting this crowd behind him.
And the purple nurple. What were you going to call it?
Purple Nurple, let's go with that.
And now the chops. And the elbow, they are working the chest, and that is not something you hear often, but they are doing it effectively.
Craig Zelis trying to make his presence known in this.
Craig Zelis may end up sleeping with the fishes by the time the night is through.
That would make my night. Getting thrown into the undercarriage of Muddy Waters there. You know, there's only one other person who I've seen do the Purple Nurple in this company, and that would be Mark Harrow himself.
Well, just desserts, what goes around comes around, all that jazz.
Mark Harrow picking Luca Brasi out of the air, but getting hit right into that ring post.
His skull met steel, and when human bone and steel meet, it usually goes in the direction of steel.
One of the things...
Wait, dead center of the ring right now.
2 count.
And South Philly's Finest almost went back home with the tag titles that have eluded them their entire career. They said it's only a matter of time before they are wearing Delaware gold.
Wyatt trying to get a little bit of order going.
And now
Luca Brasi getting tag teamed on the outside.
Craig Zelist has been incredibly physical in this match. There is a weird, very weird relationship between Harrow and his partners, in particular an abusive relationship towards Craig Zelist, but he seems to take it.
Going for the choke. As it is, South Philly's Finest is already having a bad day. They forgot the gabagool at home. Choke cover, picking him back up. Mark Harrow will just do whatever he wants with someone in that ring. He may be crazy, but he is so good.
And yet again, choking Luca Brasi, trying to keep the line down. This is not legal. That is why you were seeing those quick chokes and then pulling up, almost trying to get his back and his shoulders in the line of sight of our referee to keep that choke going for longer.
And one of the things about Mark Harrow, to explain how good he is, I think up until he snapped, he was actually the owner and head trainer of the Workhorse Training Center, which is where a lot of our wrestlers come from.
Just to explain how completely off the rails Mark Harrow is, he has to wear that hair all the time.
Yes, he does.
He looks like that in real life.
I've heard of a backwards mohawk before. It wasn't until I came here that I saw one.
Now Muddy Waters choking out the line.
Jimmy Conway's just begging to get in this ring. But again, the tag team champion, the guy who ran the Workhorse Training Center, is doing a great job making sure Luca Brasi can get nowhere near the Don, Jimmy Conway.
Muddy Waters, Mark Harrow, longtime associates, and when Harrow decided to go his own way, now Waters choking Brasi. He called his old associate from the Wish You Woods, and that's because Muddy Waters wish you would. Just give him a reason. Just give him any reason.
So much experience between the two of these. I would expect between the two gentlemen, you've got a good 50 years experience in here. And that, nothing to say for Luca Brasi or Jimmy Conway. They've been doing this a long time, too.
As we said, 20 title reigns between the two of them. That is an incredible number up and down the East Coast. But Harrow knows every trick in the book.
Jimmy Conway and Luca Brasi have only 20 more championships than I've won.
These snap, almost underhand chops right to the throat.
And he's been working on that throat the whole time. Craig Zelist with the back rakes.
Craig Zelist has been a difference maker in this match as Muddy Waters continues to distract the official, and the Jet Jimmy Conway has to try and keep his temper from working against himself and his partner. You know, there's always a lot of extra pressure for South Philly's Finest, given that they represent family interests. If they do not come back with the bling, a lot of bad things could happen to them.
It's not only just this, those are also very proud men. They are very proud. They do not like losing at all. Jimmy Conway doesn't want to be looked at as soft.
Great agility on display.
Finally tagging in Jimmy Conway.
And the gent with the heavy hands taking it to Harrow. A one-man wrecking crew. Good thing that they're sometimes into construction and demolition, because using that skill right now.
Harrow taken from the back. Jimmy Conway backs up. Did Luca Brasi just tag himself in?
Blind tag by the line.
Huge drop kick.
Bobby Knuckles hitting Harrow right in the pecs.
We're getting it. It's one of my favorite. Oh, that was just a little bit too much. Muddy Waters, again, the wily veteran.
Yeah, that experience, that ring awareness. Not to mention, this has basically been a handicap match, 3-on-2 the entire time.
DDT from Waters, cover.
Simple but effective. And a first successful defense of the tag titles.
Your winners and still 1CW Tag Team Champions, the Harrobles.
I'd put dollars to donuts that Mark Harrow made Craigslist buy that t-shirt from him.
South Philly's finest came here on a quest to gain the singular tag team titles they felt have eluded them their entire career. And unfortunately, that quest continues because the Harrobles celebrating with all that gold in the center of the ring.
Normally it's the manager that would get the credit for putting together the playlist or the directions, so to speak. I don't think any of that was up to Craig's list.
Wait a second.
We've got something going on in the corner there.
Zila's just trying to keep Harrow from jumping into the crowd and attacking fans. He's unstable, Mike. It's not a safe work environment when Mark Harrow is in the building.
But right now, our ring announcer hiding his face as Muddy Waters was getting in his. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Mike Fresh. That's Jason Heat. And this was just another horrible one on 1CW at DSN Sports Network.